Hello, everyone. Hey, welcome to Connect Friday. Thank you so much for taking your time to tune in to watch this. If you are watching the replay, feel free to share this. Share this to your feed. Share this with a fellow entrepreneur, with a small business owner. Share. Welcome again to Connect Friday. And I'm excited for what we're going to be talking about today. It's going to be really good. I mean, I say that every time, but seriously, have a lot of, or not a lot, but a few examples to share, real life examples. Okay, and without further ado, I am Shekinah Walton. I am a certified social media strategist. I'm also the founder of Shekinah Victoria Enterprises, where we help entrepreneurs and small businesses to be able to build their brand, grow their presence, and optimize their social media page to be able to reach more people and impact more people. And so some of our clients have been featured in some of our local news publications, such as Northwest Indiana Times, Chicago Crusader, Grounded News, and also Northwest Indiana Business Magazine. And the list will continue to go on by God's grace. I am a believer, so you're going to hear me mention things about God. I think God should be included in business because he will help you and guide you. And also, if you have not subscribed to our email list at ShekinahVictoriaEnterprises.com, which is also in the caption of this live, you want to make sure that you subscribe because we have a free gift for you entitled How to Harness the Power of Social Media. It's a free social media guide that has tips that you can implement to leverage the power and take advantage of social media. It'll also help you to refine your social media page and your presence and make it more polished and appealing. And so you can get that free social media guide by going right to the website in the caption, ShekinahVictoriaEnterprises.com. Click there. As soon as that pop-up comes up asking about if you want to subscribe, put in your email, and then the gift will be emailed right to you, okay? So don't forget to do that. I'm going to mention it at the end of this live anyway. Okay, and now let's talk about why positive visibility and exposure is key to successful brands, okay? So why it's key. So visibility, of course, is just your business being seen or your brand being seen, you know, then people being aware of your brand, people being aware of what, you know, you all stand for, people being aware of the services or maybe the goods, the products that you offer, having that awareness piece, people seeing it being in front of people's faces. And exposure is pretty much the same thing. It's just your brand being exposed to a greater audience. Them being exposed to a greater audience all at once, okay? And so businesses know that if they can just upfront a little cost, or entrepreneurs know that if they can just upfront a little cost, that it will pay off big time at the end. All right, now I'm going to give you some practical examples and stuff. But visibility, you know, you may want to put this in the chat box, but visibility and exposure is the backbone of marketing. Without visibility and without visibility and exposure, there is no such thing as marketing. If your brand is not being seen, then it is not being bought from. Someone needs to comment that. If your brand is not being seen, then it's not being bought from. Okay, so first you want to get your brand seen, right? Because you want to be able to attract your target audience, okay? And so you have to know, okay, what will cause for my target audience to see, you know, the things that I offer. And then you have to personalize it for that, that goal. So if your brand is not being seen, then it's not being bought from, which is why visibility and exposure is the backbone of marketing. Hey there, my brother. So you should constantly, if you're in business or if you're an entrepreneur, you should constantly be answering the question of how can my brand be seen? And how can whatever efforts we do cause for us to have greater visibility? So how can whatever efforts we do cause for us to have greater visibility? Okay. Because all efforts should lead to more visibility, more exposure for your company. And even a just plain example of that is like just being a vendor at, a conference or a networking event. It's a great opportunity for exposure for your company. Have a table set up. Make sure that you have your logo, like definitely either on your tablecloth or somewhere around, right? This is a pretty, I would say, reasonable and economical way for businesses to get greater visibility, because now everybody that is attending this conference is seeing your business, right? Because most times they have a time where people can go to the vendor tables and they can ask questions about your business. And so let's say if it is a conference where there are 5,000 people that are attending, now your business has the opportunity to be seen by 5,000 people. And I'm sure at least, let's just say, let me think. It will at least be 10 people, at least. This is the very bare minimum that will come to your table, talk with you, and be, I would say, informed regarding your brand. And that's like lowest. Like if it's 5,000 people, you really have the potential to reach 5,000 people. You do. Depending on like how you interact and how approachable you are, or whoever who is manning the table is, like you have that potential. Okay, so also I want to give an example of a company who does really great with or who has done really great with making sure that their brand is seen, with getting that positive visibility and exposure. Okay, and it continues to add to their success. And that company is Samsung. Okay. Now I know for all of those who are iPhone users, Samsung is like it's like our enemy, right? Samsung and Apple are enemies. They're opposers, they're competitors. And so, iPhone users, most iPhone users, Apple users, they always make fun of Samsung users. Then you have Samsung users that make fun of iPhone, Apple users. So it's always this battle that's going back and forth. I actually like Samsung. It's just I prefer, or I have more Apple products. Okay. Yeah. But Samsung does an amazing job with getting their brand to be seen. So let me kind of just take you on like a little history lesson, but also share what they recently did to cause for, oh my goodness, just major visibility, exposure, and which led to success for their upcoming or their new product, which I'll be talking about in a little bit. Okay, so Samsung first sponsored the 1988 Olympics. Okay, so that was their first time sponsoring the Olympics. And it was in Seoul, which is, I believe, the capital of South Korea. Y'all can correct me if I'm wrong. Yep, it's the capital of South Korea. And this was in 1988. And so what they did was, of course, Samsung is an electronics company. And so they gave phones to athletes so that athletes would not have to walk to a payphone. Now, this was back then. Remember, we had payphones. People did not just have cell phones readily available. So they gave phones to athletes who were participating in the Olympics so that they would not have to walk to a payphone and call home from there, right? So that it saved them time. It was convenient, right? Instead of them having to walk to payphones just to call home or just to call their family. So that was strategic. So they've always been very strategic, and even how, you know, they do business, how they sell their products, how they sell their electronics. And so this happened almost, well, about 30 years ago, right? Over 30 years ago. And so also Samsung was very innovative, because later the brand developed its first app to solve the issue of Olympians missing their event because they weren't informed. So back then, like, you couldn't just Google it. You know, Google was not something that was like very well known. I'm not even sure if it was created at that time yet. And so they solved that issue. So Samsung has been very revolutionary and innovative since the very beginning. Now, moving forward, okay, 1997 or 1998, one of those years, is when they officially became a partner with the Olympics, okay? And then moving forward again, 2024. So we know a lot of us were watching the Olympics, you know, that happened in Paris this year. And what people may not know, though, is that Samsung actually gifted 17,000 Olympians with a gold version of its latest foldable smartphone. Did y'all know that? And this goes to show that really, like, you are in charge of your innovation, your ability to create, because most trends are going to come back. But it's like, who's going to lead that charge? Who's going to pioneer that and bringing this trend back? We all are familiar with flip phones, right? Flip phones is something that, you know, we used to use, of course. I never had a flip phone personally, but flip phones were kind of like our cell phone that people were now, okay, let me explain this better. So flip phones are cell phones, right? But these were like the earlier versions of cell phones. So before we had touch screens, before there were even before there was like touch sensors, we had flip phones, right? Where it had buttons, all that good stuff. But Samsung brought the flip phone back, okay? They just brought it back. And so people are like, oh my goodness, like, I love it. You know, it's basically like a blast from the past, right? I don't know if I said that right, but you all know what I'm talking about. So anyways, they gifted 17,000 Olympians a gold version of their latest foldable smartphone. But of course, now it's touchscreen. It has so many other technical capabilities and advancements. Of course, it's not just like an old flip phone, but it is more advanced with today's technology. And it's called the Flip 6, okay? And it had Olympic rings engraved on the back. The phone also was preloaded with data. It had Samsung's Olympic app and a personalized message to athletes. So they could tap the phone, get free travel on the Paris Metro, and free drinks out of vending machines. How innovative and creative is that? Okay. Also, for those who watched the Olympics, you saw that some of the celebrities were taking pictures with this random phone, right? It was actually the Flip 6. So the company introduced what they call the Victory Selfie. And it was for medal winners to take photos of themselves on the podium. So after they received their medals, winners were presented with a Samsung phone, Flip 6, on a silver platter to capture their big moment, okay? So this was huge for Samsung. Not only did they have a breakthrough in regards to technology, and they brought this trend back of flip phones, right? And they're leading, you know, in regards to pioneering and innovating and, you know, all of that good stuff. Not only did they do that, but they caused for their brand to be seen on one of the biggest stages. This is not just a national stage or platform. The Olympics is international, right? All of these various countries are participating in this event. And they caused for their brand to all of a sudden shoot up and skyrocket. Of course, you know, Samsung is already well known, but even more brand awareness, even more exposure, even more visibility was something that they gathered just off of this strategy that they had, this marketing hack, okay? Okay, so I hope y'all are getting something from this. Of course, like it's going to cost for them, it costs for them to produce the phones, the 17,000 phones, but the price of giving 17,000 phones away was nothing compared to the amount of media coverage that they received, okay? Nothing. So there was a major return of investment, even from this upfront cost that they put out. And actually, they got more media coverage from that than, like, if they would have tried to get pay for media coverage themselves, because media coverage, you know, paying for media, even in Paris, was super expensive. So they saved a lot of money just by implementing this marketing strategy, this marketing hack to get for their brand to have more exposure and visibility. It was genius, right? And so based off of Samsung's even strategy, they ended up on the front of newspapers, and the pictures that these Olympians took with this Flip 6, with this Samsung product, were being posted on social media and were being used, you know, on TV and on media outlets and in newspapers. And automatically, all the attention was directed back to Samsung. And Samsung did not have to pay for that media coverage because the Olympians did it themselves, right? Some of them were, they did like unpackaging videos on TikTok. So that is free publicity. And so you have to get to the point where you become really smart, where, okay, you upfront a little cost, but then like everything else, like it literally just pays itself forward, right? And that's something that Samsung did. They used this small marketing hack, this marketing strategy. Yeah, they had to pay a little bit upfront, but it paid them forward like so much more, you know? And it caused for them to not even have to pay for certain publicity and media coverage, because the people that were users of their product were doing it for them. Okay. And so, Braun, he's the chief marketing officer for Samsung, right, which is a South Korean electronics company. He described even the strategy that they implemented as being minimum effort for maximum output. Minimum effort for maximum output, okay? And they spent less media. Samsung spent less on media compared to other Olympics. Just by implementing this strategy, and it literally like just blowing up, you know. They didn't have to spend as much because of the strategy that they put into place. And so, as I mentioned, Braun described the strategy as being minimum effort for maximum output. You know, so upfronting a little cost or doing a little, you know, kind of service for the people or a gift for the people ended up literally being revolutionary, being transformational for them. Because as I mentioned, they didn't have to do anything, right? Because the athletes did it all for them. Being on the podium, doing the unboxing videos and all of that stuff. Okay, so let's keep on going. Hello there. If you're watching, feel free to share this. You're probably in the middle, so you're like, what am I talking about? You would definitely have to go back to the beginning to see. But I'm talking about a strategy that even one of the biggest electronic companies, Samsung, implemented that caused for just major success. It was so brilliant what they implemented. So I can't take it from the beginning, but just feel free to watch it from the top. So Braun, which is, I guess, which I already mentioned, is the chief marketing officer for Samsung. He shared that Samsung saw a 23% spike in Flip 6 sales compared compared with the average day before the Olympics. So because of the exposure and the visibility that they got, aside from awareness, they also saw a 23% spike in sales. So now people are seeing these Olympians with this Flip 6 phone, this innovative phone that incorporates a little bit of the past with a lot of the future, you know, and they're like, oh, I want that phone as well. And so it calls for there to be a major spike in sales. Now, one thing that he did mention was that one thing that would be very hard is to replicate those same results, right? Because you can have breakthrough even in your marketing strategy and you're like, oh my goodness, this is working. But the thing is, you do not want to just keep on doing the same thing over and over. People are always, you know, their attention span is changing, what they're attracted to is changing. And so you have to continue to evolve, even as a brand, even as an entrepreneur, as a small business, in what you offer and how you package it and how you market it. You cannot just keep on doing the same strategy over and over and over, you know? So he said the problem is you can't do the same thing year after year. They have to find different ways of doing marketing that will still grab the attention of people and cause for them to do a specific action. Because as I mentioned, things will get tired, things get worn out, people get bored, right? And so that's what you call evolving, brand evolution, okay? But that was a major strategy that they implemented, and whoa, it caused her Samsung to just skyrocket. In regards to visibility and in regards to awareness, but also in regards to sales. Okay, let me give one other quick example and then we'll end this. So Mielle Organics, not sure if you all are familiar with Mielle, but it is a hair products company. And something that they have recently started doing, or they've actually been doing this, but they work with influencers. And they gift, something that they recently did was they gifted WNBA stars these beautiful gift bags that have their products in it. For those who watched the All-Star game, you saw the Mielle bags. Even they are giving away different gift bags to people who attend these games. All for the purpose of brand awareness, so that people can be like, okay, what is Mielle? Or this person won this huge gift bag. Like, I want to win a gift bag as well. Let me look into the brand. And immediately, this is coverage, this is visibility, this is exposure. Yes, it's at a little upfront cost for them. However, it doesn't compare to just the awareness, which will lead to the sales that they'll receive, okay? So that's a really short example. So you're like, how does this relate to me? Let me tell you. So even as an entrepreneur, as a small business, you can also do the same thing. You can position yourself to receive visibility and exposure by different marketing strategies that you implement, okay? So here are some practical ways that you can even get more visibility and exposure, and you can include this with your overall marketing strategy. So here are some practical ways. Going live often, because people can share your live, people can run across your live because of the algorithm. People may not even follow you, but they all of a sudden see your live, especially if it's related to something that they usually enjoy or watch on their phone. So going live often. I think every entrepreneur should be going live consistently. Now, you can define how consistently you want to go live. You know, churches, they go live. They have live streams. Now, okay, the effectiveness of your live stream is dependent on the quality of your live stream. So the effectiveness of people seeing your brand, seeing your church live stream, seeing, your services, it's all dependent on the effectiveness and the quality of your live stream. So those will determine how much exposure, how much visibility that you do receive, okay? That's a little free tip. Okay, so go live often. Also, some other ways, wearing a t-shirt with your brand on it, okay? Like, I know my company, one of my companies, we have t-shirts with our brand, with our logo right on it, right? And we also have a small logo mark on the back. But when people see us wearing this, or they see other people wearing our t-shirts, they know, okay, what? Let me go look them up. Okay, so these are simple ways to cause for people to get more awareness of your brand and for you to get more visibility. You know, get some t-shirts made with your logo on it, sell them, you know, have a store, have an online store, have a digital store where it ships it to them, all that good stuff. Churches do this all the time. Awesome way for them to get more brand awareness, because people are seeing, oh, you go to this church, because you know you're wearing it on your shirt or whatever it may be, and it goes all the way around. You can do that as entrepreneurs, a small business. If there's a key phrase or a key slogan that you always say, you can put it on a t-shirt. Make it marketable, okay? Make it to where people remember and they know your brand because they always see this, okay? So, or you can also give people t-shirts. You can give people your products, right? That way they can automatically have awareness regarding it. And I'm sure somebody will see them having your product and they'll ask questions about that. And now this is what we call, it's marketing for you. You know, it's word to, hold up. Why did they just leave me? Word by mouth marketing, you know, because people will market your brand for you, especially if what you do is of excellence and if it's of quality and it's something that's creative, it's innovative. People will market your brand for you without you having to invest any money, you know, with that. Like, they'll just do it, you know, but sometimes it's going to take a little upfront cost. But if people enjoy what they're experiencing or whatever it may be, they will market your brand for you. You won't have to tell them to, they'll just do it automatically. Okay, here's another one. Doing a sponsored ad automatically causes for your brand, your business to have more visibility. So every business owner, every entrepreneur should be thinking about doing a sponsored ad at least a couple times a year, if not multiple times during, you know, each month. Okay, it causes for your content to reach a greater audience, whether it be videos, whether it be posts, whether it be, you know, just anything that is driving brand awareness. Think about it. Okay, so it'll be a little upfront cost, but of course will pay off definitely in the long run. Another example, giving a small group of people a free tester or trial of something, you know, especially if you're trying something new, if this is a beta program. Hey, you know, I want you to test this out for me. It's completely free of charge. You know, this is not necessarily you having to pay anything, but it's just giving them this digital product for free so that they can have a great experience. Then from there you can get reviews, you can get testimonials, and you can get real-time feedback concerning your digital product, your program, your whatever it is, that will cause for you to be able to refine it and make it even better for paying clients. Okay, all these tips. Okay. And then the last thing is working with an influencer. So this is really cool because they can, especially those who have a lot of influence in different industries, if you work with them and you're like, okay, hey, I want you to kind of just patronize my brand or whatever it may be, free of charge, you know, and all you have to do is just share like just real-time feedback regarding it, or weird or whatever, or use it, you know, like that is an awesome way to also get more visibility and awareness. And companies realize that all the time, which is why Nike, I'm wearing Nike actually, Nike, this is why they partner with and they give these deals to these basketball players and these football players, because they understand the power of visibility. If someone can see a celebrity wearing a Nike shoe, then automatically that, and they, let's say they're inspired and they look up to the celebrity, then they'll want to buy it. So people want to buy things that people who are, you know, in, you know, let's say just high places of influence or who are well known, people want to buy stuff that they are wearing or that they like or that they enjoy if they admire them. And so that's an awesome way also to get more visibility and awareness for your brand, which can lead to more sales. Okay. So this was a longer live, probably like 30 minutes. Usually we are not live this long, but I gave just so many different examples and things that you can implement as a brand, as a business, as an entrepreneur, to get more positive visibility and exposure. And you also were able to hear why it is key to successful brands, why you need exposure, positive exposure, why you need visibility, and all that good stuff. Now, let's say your business, let's say your brand does not have positive exposure right now. It doesn't have positive visibility. Let's say people have a negative perception regarding your brand. How can you change that? Okay, we call it reputation management, and basically all that is effectively dealing with negative perspectives or negative feedback or negative mindsets regarding your brand in a way that causes for that negative perception to dissolve and for them to eventually have a positive perception. So that can be going over and beyond, someone did not have a good experience with your brand, with your business. Okay, ask them well, first apologize, apologize for them not having a good experience. And why didn't you have a good experience? What can we do better? Being open to asking those questions so that you can improve, because if one person is having this experience, other people can. And so why not fix it now so that it doesn't spread to anybody else? All right. So, I hope that you all enjoyed this. If you have not, go ahead and catch this live from the very beginning, because I shared just a lot of great value, and things will make more sense, especially if you missed the beginning. It'll make sense for why we were kind of going this way. And so, yeah, feel free to check out the entire video. Also, if you have not, feel free to share this. This is going to be helpful to many entrepreneurs, many small businesses. I'm sure that it will spark many ideas that you can implement. Hey, and at least let me know, if you get an idea based off of this live and you implement it, all that good stuff, let me know, so I can know that you all are actually listening, you're implementing, the things that I share. Okay. And also, if you have not subscribed to our email list at ShekinahVictoriaEnterprises.com, go ahead and subscribe. The link is in our caption, because you will receive a free gift entitled How to Harness the Power of Social Media, which is a social media guide that has many tips, tricks, and things that you can implement to better optimize your page and leverage the power of it and take advantage of social media. Okay. So I think that concludes everything that we had to share, that I had to share. And I will see you all tomorrow for tomorrow. Today's Thursday. Wow. Oh my goodness. So I will see you all for our last Connect 5 of the week at 8 a.m. Central Standard Time, which is 9 a.m. Eastern Time and 6 a.m. Pacific Time. And I pray that you have a blessed day. Bye-bye.